I look like I just got back from a ski trip. Hi everyone, it is Shipwreck Samantha here, and today I'm going to be talking about character design and how to plan colors for character design. I really wanted to do like a whole talk about character design for this video, and so I created a character for this, and I had the idea of doing a tree nymph or some sort of nature nymph character, almost like a fairy without wings, or like Mother Nature or something to that extent. And so it took a lot of playing around with ideas to get to the point that I wanted, and I'll see if I can show the different concepts I went through before getting to what you see in the video, or in the final product. And like I said, I wanted to have this video like all about character design and stuff, but I want to today instead talk about specifically the things that I had a lot of trouble with while doing this drawing. When I went into this design, I didn't know exactly what colors I wanted to do for it, and I kind of had a rough idea in my head. As for the character design itself, I had a pretty good idea and was able to flesh it out after a while, and I could make a separate video on creating the concepts for characters later on if you guys want to see that. But I want to talk about specifically color, and also the effects of color when it comes to value and not just the saturation and hue itself. I'll show you guys how I tried several different color schemes for this character before I got what I wanted, and I almost settled on the first one, and you can see by the time I kept trying different things, I got a lot better, and the end result is much better than if I had just settled. I was really torn on trying to figure out how to make everything look cohesive and to make all the different colors stand out. And I really struggled with this. I wanted to have a darker skin tone for the character, and I wanted branches to be wrapped around the body, and I wanted the hair to be green vines, and so it was hard trying to figure out how to make all of that look good together. So the first tip I want to give you guys, if you're creating a drawing and you can't figure out what it is that doesn't look right, turn it to black and white and just take out all of the saturation. If you're doing it digitally, it's obviously very simple. You just remove the saturation from an image. If you're doing it traditionally, you can just take a photo of what you're working on and then turn it black and white to get a perspective as well. And you're probably wondering why you would do this, and the reason is value has a big part to play in the colors you choose. I was finding it difficult to figure out what it was that didn't look like about the image until I turned it black and white, and I could see, oh, her skin tone and the branches are very similar value, and even though they were a different color, when I compared them in black and white, they actually looked close to the same. And in doing that, it made me realize I either needed to darken the skin tone, lighten the branches, or vice versa, or both. And I repeated this process several times of trying different colors and different values and then turning it black and white to see what that resulted in. And it took quite a few tries to get what I wanted. Oh, she wants head scratches. Hold on one second. What was I talking about again? Hold on. So, in summary, my first tip is to turn your drawings black and white if you can't figure out what it is about the color specifically that just isn't working. And then also playing around with different colors in general also really helps. So my next tip is to do the opposite of what you're doing right now. I really thought I wanted a dark skin tone for this character, and so I tried to stick with that, but then I branched out and I cracked myself up. I didn't even mean to branch out and do something completely opposite from what you thought you wanted, and that might result in something that you didn't expect. That's what I'm trying to say. I eventually tried a lighter skin tone of the character and darker branches to see what that would result in. And I did eventually go back to a darker skin tone, but it actually resulted in me finding a middle ground for the skin tone color instead of doing it really dark or really light. And so creating that experiment with the lighter skin tone allowed me to realize that maybe creating a mid-tone would be best for the character. And then my last tip is to just get advice from people, and I have learned that you don't have to solely rely on the advice of other artists, but if there's something about a drawing that just doesn't look right to you and you can't figure out what it is, just having any fresh pair of eyes can help. I had my sister look at my drawing and I just said, look, I don't know what's wrong with this. do you have any ideas? And she gave me some suggestions that actually pointed me in the direction that I ended up going with in the final product. My sister may not know much about color theory and hasn't studied art herself, but just having a fresh set of eyes that hasn't yet looked at the drawing before gave me a new perspective on what I needed to do. So those are my 3 tips. Turn your image black and white. What was the second one? Try the exact opposite of what you're doing and get outside help and advice. And I'm telling you, if you try at least one of those things, it will help. What in the world? What are you doing, Rose? I don't know what spooked her, but anyway, those are my tips, so feel free to comment and let me know if you guys have anything to add on to this subject and anything you have learned in concern with color theory and having issues with figuring out colors for a subject or a character in general. And I'm sure everyone else would love to hear what you have to say, and you might even help someone out too. Also, let me know what you guys think about this character design. I still don't have a name for her, but I do really like how— Why, phone? Why you gotta ring now? I forgot what I was saying. I'm getting so distracted. So help me figure out a name for my character if you guys have any suggestions. I haven't decided on it, but I do really like how this character design came out. And if you're new around here, don't forget to join my pirate crew by hitting subscribe down below or on the screen. We have new videos here every Friday and Sunday, and if you guys want to submit your characters to be drawn on Sunday, just hashtag them to look Shipwreck so I can see them. And so that's all I have for you guys today, and I will see you guys in the next video.